Hey, what's going on, guys? It is time for another video, and this time I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm taking a page out of a book from a photographer that I enjoy following here on YouTube. His name is Liam, and he goes by 7th Era out of Australia. And what he's doing is he is choosing one street at a time in his city of Melbourne, Australia. And he's photographing it and just bringing his viewers along. And that's actually what I'm going to do here in Houston. So I've already made out a list and cataloged how many streets there are, running both directions in downtown. And there's 35 of them. So today we will be going down Pierce Street. Pierce Street is also known as Pierce Elevated. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that once I get out onto the street and start photographing it. But yeah, hopefully you guys will enjoy this. I don't know if it's going to be a 15-minute video, a 30-minute video, 45-minute video. I have no clue how long it's going to take me to walk the stretch of that street and photograph it. If you do end up enjoying this one, be sure to come back because I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to do all of downtown Houston, Texas. All right, let's go. All right. It is probably quite loud on this video right now, and I am at the corner of Pierce, and this is Hamilton, but I'm underneath Pierce because Pierce becomes Pierce Elevated. You can see up there. And when you're passing through downtown Houston from north to south, you have to pass through, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. When you're going from north of downtown to south of downtown, or vice versa, you have to pass through the middle of downtown Houston. And in doing so, there wasn't really any space for a freeway, and so they raised Pierce up in the air, and you narrow down. So Houston's actually working on completely changing all of that, and they're going to reroute it to a completely different direction. But for now, if you're driving through downtown to get north or south of Houston, you've got to come across Pierce Elevated if you're going on the I-45 route. I have a feeling that this stretch of road is probably going to be a little bit boring to photograph, but I want to photograph every single street in downtown. So yeah, so I started here, the furthest corner you can get to downtown. Hopefully this noise will reduce a little bit as I get a little further away. We shall see. Not seeing anything really interesting worth photographing just yet. I'm also putting to test my new lens, my Canon 2470. I'm shooting with a Canon RP. I've had the Canon RP for a couple of years now, but I've just been using like the standard stock lenses. I've used this for a handful of photo shoots, but outside of that, I haven't really gotten to truly put it to the test yet. Wow, this really is a boring stretch of the roads in downtown. You can see off that direction, there's a lot of development going on over that way. And that direction's actually kind of where I live as well. If you can see that white building back there, I live fairly close to that. I walked over here. Took me probably 15, maybe close to 20 minutes to walk over here. So if anything, I'm getting a lot of exercise shooting these videos too, which I need. Man, it is loud over here. If this noise continues like this, I will probably fade out and into some music instead to spare you guys from all of this noise. This is crazy. That picture's all blown out, but there was really nothing worth salvaging anyways. You guys, as this series progresses, I can assure you that the scenery will improve as I work myself closer and closer into the center of downtown. But again, like I said, this is the edge of downtown, and it's just not very attractive. There is very little foot traffic out here too, so yeah, I can't even really do much in the way of street photography. There's nobody to photograph. I'm thankful for the beautiful weather we have today. It has been raining for about a week straight. I'd planned on launching this series about 2 weeks earlier, and we've had basically freeze weather or rainy weather, and I do not do well in cold weather. I'm not a cold weather person. If it gets down below the 60s, I'm not interested. And I know a lot of you watching may laugh at the 60s, but when I'm used to 100-degree weather, a 40-degree drop is a big deal. And if it goes down into the 50s, then obviously a 50-degree drop is even more. So, yeah. At the time of filming this, it is a Sunday, which also explains why there's not as much traffic down here right now. Man, I might make it to the end of this street and not really photograph much of anything. I hope the stabilization on this video is good too. It's one of my first times in a really long time to wear a GoPro on my chest. And I am using a magnet mount rather than a big strap, because I don't like wearing those big elasticy strap-on ones because they're not comfortable. But I'm worried that this magnetic mount might have a little bit of bounce to it. Hopefully not. Yeah, pretty boring photo. If you guys are not already following me on Instagram, go check me out there. It's just same as my YouTube channel. It's Melvin Maya, M-E-L-V-I-N M-A-Y-A. I will be posting photos from this video if I get anything worth posting, and this video series as a whole. I'll be posting all of these on my Instagram account. I'm guessing I have about maybe 8 to 10 more blocks and I'll already be to the other end. Hoping that there's 1 or 2 buildings up here that are a little bit more interesting to photograph. You know, the cool thing about walking these streets for me versus driving them is I'm getting to see a lot more stuff going on. It looks like here up ahead they're maybe doing full demo on a building. I'm trying to recall what building that would have been. May have just been a parking garage or something, I'm not sure. I don't know what was there at all. That whole area, that whole block is demolished. Oh, well, this one was a church, actually. Maybe the next one up was a parking garage. If you've ever been to Houston and you've eaten at Papa's Barbecue or Papacitos, Papa Do's, Papa's Steakhouse, Papa's basically anything. It is a locally owned family chain and fantastic food. So Houston staple. It looks like I'm gonna have to walk in the street for this next block, since they demoed this. So yeah, so this corner right here, this used to be a church. I believe it was a Catholic church, and they demoed it a couple months ago, but this is my first time seeing like the entire lot scraped clean like this. And it appears across the block, maybe, like I said, I think it's a parking garage. There could have been a building on top of it. I'll have to go back to Google Maps and look, because I'm not even sure. But I'm curious to know what they're going to put here. So the redevelopment that I was talking about over here with Pierce Elevated, the plan is going to be that when they relocate Pierce to the other side of downtown, that entire stretch of the raised freeway there is going to become like park space. And so I know a lot of the development that they're planning on both sides of Pierce, on Midtown side and downtown side, is going to be catered to parks and restaurants and recreational things to do. I'm lucky it's a Sunday, because I wouldn't be able to walk here otherwise. Be too busy. Yeah, this looks like it was just maybe like a 3-level garage. Let's see if I can safely walk up this side without getting hit by any cars. Oh, we got the Metro Rail. I think that's gonna be too dark. Yeah, it's way too dark. Man, I am not getting anything good as far as photos right now. You can see this demolition here a little bit better. All right, we're at Main Street. I live on Main Street, but more towards the center of downtown than down here. Let's see if we can get some cool shots here. Let me get out of the middle of the street while I set my camera settings. We got that extreme change in the light there from the dark to the bright sun. Doesn't look that great in the photos. Yeah, I'm not liking the way it's so washed out up there. Nah, nothing that great. I have another Instagram channel called Upward Tilt, and as you can see upward here, I am gonna photograph this building at an upward tilt. So you should go check that one out too on Instagram. It's pretty self-explanatory. All those photos are taken at an upward angle. So question for any street photographers out there: how do you get comfortable with photographing strangers while just passing by and not asking for any permission? It's always been kind of awkward for me to do that. Hence why I haven't really focused much on that type of photography. This is one of the bus hubs in downtown. Wow, this is like completely blown out. If you are commuting from the suburbs to downtown, you can do like a park and ride, where in your area of the suburbs, there'll be like what they call a park and ride. So you can drive your car to that little park and ride area and then catch a bus to downtown. The sunlight's quite harsh right now. It makes it difficult to get good photos. Might hear off in the distance a whole pack of like motorcycles and stuff just pass through. Sometimes on the weekends they'll all get together and ride around downtown. Maybe I'll get lucky and they'll pass by here and get some cool photos of them. Wow, there is just not much to see on this stretch of downtown. Too many shadows. Yeah, it's just way too many shadows to try to get the right contrast here. Actually, this spot over here, you can't see it. There's cars parked there. There's usually some cool graffiti artwork or mural artwork over there, but it's completely covered right now. None of these photos are very good. Looks like I've been going for about 20 minutes so far, not too bad. Got a fire station here on the right, but I don't, we'll see if there's any way I can get any good photos of it. Let's take a look at downtown. This is just, there's nothing to see from this angle. That building right there used to be a hotel. It's been vacant for 20 or 30 years. And nobody really wants to pick it up because the cost to renovate it would be so high. People used to sneak in there quite often, but it's very difficult to do that anymore. I've always wanted to check it out, but not really worth the risk of getting fined or arrested or something for trespassing. Got the fire station here. Like I said, the sunlight is just so harsh that direction right now that it makes it almost impossible to photograph that direction. Let's see if I can get anything here. I get another one of the upward tilts. But what I want to see is how these lines in here are going to come out. This might look cool as a black and white. This might be a cool spot to come do a photo shoot too. These are a bit dark. This might be better. Let's go see what else we can get here. Cool lines. It'd be more interesting if I had a person in here, a subject to photograph, than just yeah. And it doesn't help that everything is dead from the freeze. This is usually green and plush. You see all that plant life is dead there. Yeah, these aren't looking so great because it's just really ugly out right now, vegetation wise. Keep heading back this way. I think I might be at the end of this street. All right, so I have officially reached the end of this street. There's maybe like one more street up here where the diner is, but I can't really safely go over there, so I'm not going to worry about it. There's nothing to see over there. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. This was probably a little bit more on the boring side for this type of content. I'm hoping that for the next one, for the next street, it will be a little bit more interesting. See you guys in the next video. Oh, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and do all those things. And I'll see you in the next one. Later.